Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWAS. Got a big one here. Tennessee on the road in Norman. Oklahoma catching a touchdown at home. Let's do it.
Welcome to the SWAS. The SWAS. SWAS. Hey, get the SWAS.
All right, like I said, Vols are on the road here. Oklahoma catching a full 7 at home. It looks like there is a juice 6.5 out there. If you like Tennessee, you could still find a 6.5. But for the most part, we're looking at 7s across the board. Total sitting at consensus 57.5. Let's take a look at the pie charts. According to this data, as I always say, take it with a grain of salt, but everyone is betting the Vols here. Over 80% of the tickets, over 90% of the money. So public sharps, everyone's betting the Vols here. So let's get into it. These two teams both off to a 3-0 start. Vols are also 3-0 against the number. Oklahoma 2-1. So a nice start from both of these programs. Tennessee's offense has lived up to the hype so far. I mean, obviously, they got the freshman quarterback in there, Nico. This unit is 11th in OFEI. They're 3rd in yards per carry, 4th in yards per play, 9 in yards per pass attempt. Effective pass, they're still back at 44th. So some advanced metrics indicate that this might not be a top 25 passing attack. But as far as across the board goes, this is looking like a very dangerous offense. And it's looking like they're definitely out for blood this year. They've outscored their opponents 191-13. No, that's not a typo. 191-13. Tennessee is putting the hurt on people. Here's Nico's numbers. 525 yards. Over 10 yards a pass attempt is very impressive. He has thrown a couple picks, but he's got an A+ turnover-worthy play rate. So he's not putting the ball in harm's way. 5 touchdowns. Like I said, over 10 yards per pass attempt as a freshman is impressive. What they did to Kent State last weekend, I mean, is a felony. That was one of the most savage beatings I've ever seen in my life. 71-0 was the final score. Total yards, 740-112. I've seen 70-point victories before. We see 1 or 2 of them every year. But I don't know if I've ever seen 740 yards to 112. Usually there's some turnovers involved. This is just an absolute shit stomping start to finish. Oh my God, 71-0. Now we can question the strength of schedule here for Tennessee. Kent State 134th in the FBS. According to some advanced metrics, this is the worst defense in the entire country. They also played Chattanooga, who's an FCS program and not even a great one. No, actually they're all right. That was unfair. But Chattanooga's an FCS program. Now NC State's sitting at 22nd at DFEI. But I'm starting to think that NC State, without Peyton Wilson at linebacker, isn't a very good defense either. So we can definitely question the strength of schedule here. But that's going to change here because they're on the road in Norman. And this Oklahoma defense, you got to pretty much forget everything you know about Oklahoma football because Brent Venables took over this team. He's got his guys in there. This is a defense-first program right now. It's one of the best run defenses in the country. 5th in yards per carry allowed, 8th in run defense success rate, 16th in effective rush, still 24th in effective pass, even though they have given up some plays in the passing game, 13th in DFEI. And the reason I'm bringing up those elite run defense numbers is this Tennessee offense. Yeah, they got the superstar quarterback, the Heisman hopeful quarterback, the NFL hopeful quarterback. They're still 9th in run frequency. Now, a lot of that is probably a result of being up 60 points on the scoreboard. But still, this is a program that wants to run the ball. Dylan Sampson is practically averaging 8 yards a carry on the season, 9 rushing touchdowns. He is not going to get that off on the road in Oklahoma. This is a very good defensive front. They're actually 2nd in run defense rankings, according to PFF, 34th in defensive line yards. So the idea that Tennessee is going to go on the road into Norman and push this Oklahoma defensive front around, I don't think that's realistic at all. Also, Oklahoma has a pass rush. 20th in pass rush grade, 25th in sack rate, just 60th in pressure rate, but 29th in pass rush win rate. The reason I'm bringing that up, Nico, although we haven't seen it much, really hasn't looked great when pressured. Again, we haven't seen him pressured much. His QB rating goes from an A+ when given a clean pocket to an F when pressured. Yards per attempt also takes a plunge. Again, we haven't seen him pressured much, but he is a freshman on the road in Oklahoma. Is it that crazy to think that he gets pressured and makes a mistake or two? Look what we saw Oklahoma do to Mensah. Mensah looked like the man, the Tulane freshman quarterback. He went up against Kansas State, which, by the way, is a good defense. We just saw what they did to Arizona last week. This Kansas State defense is pretty good. Mensah absolutely cooked the Kansas State defense. 342 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 180 passer rating. Look what happened when he went into Oklahoma the next weekend. He couldn't do anything. 43.8%. completions, 166 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 91.4 passer rating. So we just saw this, an up-and-coming superstar freshman that looks excellent, went on the road to Norman, and Oklahoma's defense really made him struggle. Who's to say that doesn't happen here with Nico? Also, Tulane, the run game was looking pretty good, not in Norman. Just 3.1 yards per carry as a team. So look, I know Tulane's offense is not Tennessee's offense. I know this Tennessee team is loaded, but I think this Oklahoma defense is every bit as good as the Tennessee offense is, maybe even better. So I truly wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee struggles to move the ball a bit in this one. But then we flip it over to the other side, and this is where it gets really tough to make a case for Oklahoma because their offense really struggling. They're still sitting at 26th in OFEI. But, I mean, 63rd in effective pass, not really getting the passing game going. And Tennessee's defense, everything I just said about Oklahoma's defense, you can kind of make the same points about Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee's run defense, also elite. They're actually 2nd in the country in yards per carry, 3rd in success rate, 18th in effective rush, sitting at 9th in DFEI. And Gavin Sawchuk just really struggling to get it going. This is Oklahoma's leading rusher last year, 6.2 yards per carry last season. So far this year, he's averaging 2.2 yards per carry. So for whatever reason, this Oklahoma run game is just not working at all right now. In this Tennessee run defense, they haven't allowed a team to rush for more than 74 yards in a game. And you want to know who did it? It was Chattanooga. Probably did it in garbage time. I didn't even check. Probably did it in garbage time. So nobody's running the ball in Tennessee. Again, we do have to question the strength of schedule because they played NC State, but they don't have a run game at all. So they haven't played a single team that can run it. But can Oklahoma even run it? Because it doesn't look like it. Tennessee's sitting at 5th in run defense, ranked 24th in defensive line yards. So, I mean, eventually I do expect Gavin Sawchuk to start making plays out of the backfield. But is this the time against Tennessee? It doesn't look like it. And also, look at the right side of this graphic, the pass rush. Tennessee's pass rush not quite as good as their run defense, but they're still 9th in pass rush grade, 41st in pressure rate. And the reason I'm bringing that up, Oklahoma hasn't been that great in pass protection. 65th in pass blocking grade, 117th in sack rate, 53rd in pressure rate. So it looks like Jackson Arnold may have taken some sacks that probably he shouldn't have. But still, this offensive line has not been great in pass protection. And look how bad Jackson Arnold has been when pressured. I mean, offensive grade, QB rating, turnover-worthy play rate, the yards per attempt is terrible, clean pocket or when pressured. But these numbers all take a drop when pressured. Can they keep him safe here against the Tennessee pass rush? It's tough. Jackson Arnold's numbers on the season are anything but impressive. Just 315 passing yards, 5.5 yards per pass attempt is not good. 6 touchdowns, 1 interception is cool. He has protected the football, but definitely an underwhelming start to the season for Jackson Arnold. And we just saw what Tennessee did to Grayson McCall in that game. Grayson McCall, we know, as one of the better quarterbacks in college football, he couldn't get anything going through the air. 15 of 22, just 104 passing yards in the game, threw a pick. So Grayson McCall also couldn't get the ball down the field on Tennessee. Jackson Arnold's been struggling to get the ball down the field on Tulane, Houston, and Temple. How's he going to do it against Tennessee? Also, the Vols have been running a lot of zone coverage this year, 36th in zone coverage frequency, and they're very good at it. Opponent QBR against their zone coverage, 4th in the country. Want to know who's been absolutely awful throwing the ball against zone coverage? Oklahoma, Jackson Arnold. So as much as I think Oklahoma's defense is equipped to give Tennessee problems, and I really think we will see Nico struggle a little bit, this Oklahoma offense just gives me no reason to back them against a Tennessee defense. So I don't think they're going to score, which leads me to the bet. I will not lay a full touchdown on the road with Tennessee against that defense because I could see a turnover or two. Really could see them struggle. But I can't bet Oklahoma against this defense. I can't do it. What I can do, under. I know both these teams tend to run faster paces. I think they're like 34th and 52nd in college football this year. I don't care. I think both defenses are going to really show out in this one. 57.5 is a big number. Give me the under, 57.5. If you want to see all the bets I currently have open, head over to kylekirms.com and click on open bets. You'll see mine as well as everyone on the staff here. Also, when you sign up for Sauce Network Plus, it comes with access to the Discord, and you can participate in the weekly betting league. $150 and one of these trophies go to the winner every single week. So if you're interested in that, head over to the website and sign up. Live shows, Saturday morning college football, 10 a.m. Eastern time up to kickoff. We'll be live for 2 straight hours going through every single game, or as many as we can. We did 28 last Saturday. NFL show, 11 a.m. to kickoff, so we'll be live 2 hours that morning as well. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. Let's have ourselves a good college football week 4. I need one because I had a rough week 3. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.